Behind the cute facade of Pokémon lies a dark universe, a world of living weapons, the aftermath of global wars, and social Darwinism. The franchise's immense success is fueled by this frightening depth, not just its designs. Today, we will cast aside gameplay conventions and seriously analyze the architecture of this world, how society entrusts children with monsters of mass destruction, why hypertechnology coexists with stagnation, and who truly created this reality. This is the unvarnished anatomy of the Pokémon world. Let's start at the very beginning. Unlike our world, where the origin of the universe is a matter of theoretical physics and philosophical debate, in the world of Pokémon, cosmogony is a documented, empirically verifiable fact. The local theology is absolutely real, and its key figures don't sit on clouds, they inhabit caves, mountaintops, and other dimensions, and can be encountered if one dares. In the beginning, there was nothing. No time, no space, no matter, only a swirling chaos of non-existence. At the center of this void, an egg appeared. From this primordial egg hatched Arceus, the original one. It's crucial to understand that Arceus is not a god in the Abrahamic sense, not an omniscient and unknowable spirit. It is, rather, a biological singularity, a demiurge, a being capable of setting the fundamental constants of reality through its will alone. Sinnoh legends say that it shaped the universe with its 1,000 arms. These arms are most likely a metaphor for its ability to manifest itself through the 18 elemental aspects of existence, represented by the plates. These artifacts are not just items that boost attacks, they are fragments of the Creator itself, the software keys to the universe's operating system. Whoever holds them can literally reprogram reality, changing the type and essence of Arceus itself. To bring order to the chaos, Arceus birthed 3 entities known as the Creation Trio. These are not angels or assistants, but living embodiments of the fundamental laws of physics. Dialga, the master of time. This creature doesn't just travel through time, it is time. Its heartbeat sets the rhythm of seconds, its breath the passage of ages. If Dialga were to be injured, time itself would begin to bleed, creating temporal loops, paradoxes, and erasing entire eras from history. Its roar can stop or accelerate the flow of time throughout the entire universe. Palkia, the master of space. Palkia controls the geometry of reality. Its power allows it to stitch and tear the fabric of space, creating wormholes between galaxies or, conversely, making 2 objects in the same room millions of miles apart. A battle involving Palkia could result in your house ending up on the dark side of the moon. Giratina, the master of antimatter. Giratina is entropy, the shadow that balances the light of creation. Due to its untamable and destructive nature, it was banished by Arceus to the Distortion World, a parallel dimension where the laws of our universe's physics do not apply. There is no conventional gravity, time and space are fluid. But this is not hell, nor is it a prison. The Distortion World is the reverse side of our reality, necessary for its stability just as a shadow is necessary for light to exist. Giratina is not evil, but a cosmic necessity. After establishing the fundamental laws of the universe, Arceus created the Lake Trio to fill the empty world with consciousness. Uxie, the being of knowledge. It bestowed upon all living forms intellect, logic, memory, and the capacity for learning. The appearance of Uxie marked the birth of science. Mesprit, the being of emotion. It brought feelings into the world: love, hate, joy, and sorrow, becoming the driving force behind art, culture, and social bonds. Azelf, the being of willpower. It gave living beings strength of spirit, determination, courage, and the drive to pursue goals. Without Azelf, there would be no heroes, no champions, and no will to live. And here is the crucial point that defines everything. These gifts were given equally to both humans and Pokémon. Their consciousness shares a single metaphysical source, the same operating system. This is why such a deep, empathetic, and even telepathic bond is possible between them. This is not merely the friendship of a master and a pet. It is an alliance of two beings with fundamentally compatible minds. A trainer's willpower, the gift of Azelf, can directly influence a Pokemon's strength, allowing it to surpass its limits. Descending from the metaphysical heights to the planet, we see a world that is geographically similar to our own, but politically structured in a completely different way. There are no superpowers dividing the map. The world is decentralized, consisting of culturally distinct, independent regions. Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh are based on different parts of Japan, reflecting its regional diversity. Unova is the bustling melting pot of New York. Kalos embodies the aesthetics and high fashion of France. Galar represents the industrial might and aristocracy of Great Britain. Paldea channels the passion and traditions of Spain. Each region is autonomous. They have no common president, parliament, or monarch. The power structure is a harsh meritocracy of strength, based on the only skill that truly matters in this world: Pokémon training mastery. This structure is called the Pokémon League, and it's not a sports committee. It's a hybrid of a government, a Supreme Court, and a joint chiefs of staff. Gym leaders are not just strong trainers standing in the way of glory. They are the pillars of society. In their cities, they function as mayors, sheriffs, and infrastructure managers. The electric-type leader, Volkner of Sunnyshore, is responsible for the city's power plant. Roxy from Unova is the leader of a punk band and a cultural authority. Brock in Pewter City maintains order. Their badges are not just sports medals, they are official certifications of a trainer's qualification, a kind of pass into the upper echelons of power, confirming that you are capable of bearing responsibility. At the top of this pyramid are the Elite Four and the Regional Champion. This is the highest authority. In peacetime, they are objects of admiration and the ultimate goal for any trainer. But in the event of a global cataclysm, the awakening of an ancient monster, an invasion from another dimension, or the actions of a terrorist organization, it is the champion who takes command of the defense. Not the police, not the army. When Groudon and Kyogre threaten to flood or parch the entire Hoenn region, it is champion Steven Stone who coordinates the response. But where is the army? In the games and anime, we rarely see regular troops. The answer to this question, and the key to the entire social structure of this world, lies in a single phrase from Lieutenant Surge, the gym leader from Kanto. "Hey kid, you wouldn't last a minute in the war. My electric Pokémon saved me back then." This phrase is a scar on the face of a prosperous world. It posits the existence of a Great Pokémon War, a recent global conflict that shaped modern society. This explains everything. 1. The demographic crisis. Why are there so few adult men in the world? Especially in the early generations of the games, most adult male characters are either old men, Professor Oak, scientists, or crime bosses, Giovanni. The generation of the protagonist's fathers is almost entirely absent. They were likely wiped out in this war, where Pokémon were used as living tanks, fighter jets, and artillery. 2. Early mobilization. Why does society encourage 10-year-old children to leave home and embark on a journey fraught with danger? This is not parental irresponsibility. It is a post-war legacy, a form of early civic training. Every child who receives a trainer's license becomes a potential soldier, part of a decentralized national militia capable of defending their town. A trainer's journey is not a vacation, it's a training course in survival and tactical command. 3. The technological leap. Wars are the greatest catalyst for technology. It was likely military R&D that formed the basis of the Pokéball and the systems for Pokémon storage and instant healing. The world of Pokémon is not an idyllic prehistory, but a post-cyberpunk, post-apocalyptic future that managed to recover from a global trauma and build a new society on its ruins. Pokémon are not animals in our sense of the word. They are complex biological life forms capable of converting and releasing colossal amounts of energy. Their classification into 18 elemental types is not magic, but a kind of periodic table of their biophysics. Fire-type Pokémon, like Charizard, possess an internal organ where miniature thermonuclear reactions occur, allowing them to spew flames reaching temperatures of up to 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit. Steel-type Pokémon, like Steelix, have bodies compressed under immense pressure deep within the earth, making them harder than diamond. Ghost-type Pokémon, like Gengar, can exist in a different phase state of matter or vibrate at a frequency that allows them to pass through solid objects, a practical application of the principles of quantum uncertainty. Psychic-type Pokémon, like Alakazam, have brains that function like biological quantum computers, processing information faster than the speed of light, and enabling abilities like telekinesis, telepathy, and precognition. The primary mechanism for survival and development here is evolution. In our biology, this is a slow process of natural selection. Here, it is an instantaneous, cataloged metamorphosis triggered by a sudden release of energy. This process is more akin to a phase transition in physics or a chain reaction in a nuclear reactor. When a Pokémon accumulates a critical mass of experience, essentially concentrated energy in combat data, this energy triggers a cascading genetic restructuring. In mere seconds, its cellular structure becomes more complex, its mass and density change, and sometimes new organs even appear. This instant mutation is the greatest evolutionary advantage, allowing species to adapt to threats within a single generation. Phenomena like mega-evolution or gigantamaxing are temporary, combat-oriented forms of this process, artificially induced by external energy sources, essentially an afterburner for a living organism. But humans in this world have gone beyond simple observation. They have learned to play God. Mewtwo is not just a strong Pokémon, it is the result of genetic engineering, an attempt to clone and enhance the DNA of the mythical Mew, the genetic ancestor of all Pokémon. The creators obtained a being whose power surpassed their wildest expectations, but along with strength, it also gains self-awareness and an existential crisis. Porygon is a completely digital being, a piece of software code that has achieved physical form. Type Null is a chimera created in a lab from the cells of different Pokémon with a single purpose: to hunt creatures from other dimensions, that is, to be a weapon against gods. The biotechnology of this world has blurred the line between biological, digital, and mechanical life. How did humanity, physically weak and vulnerable, manage not only to survive, but to dominate a world inhabited by living elements? The answer lies in two technological singularities achieved by megacorporations like Silphco and Devoncorp. 1. Matter compression technology, the Pokeball. This is not just a cage, it is one of the most complex devices in science fiction. The Pokeball is a portable matter-to-energy converter. Upon contact, it emits a beam that dematerializes a biological object, converting it into a stable stream of energy or digital data, and stores it in a comfortable state of stasis inside. This technology is the foundation of control. Without it, humanity would have been wiped off the planet in days. But consider the ethics. What is it like to be turned into light and locked inside a pocket-sized device? 2. The digital storage and teleportation system. The Pokémon storage system, developed by a genius named Bill, is the second pillar of civilization. It allows a living being to be digitized and sent across a network like an email attachment. This is the instantaneous teleportation of living matter. It forms the basis of all logistics and the trainer economy. So why isn't it used for people? It's likely that the unique energy signature of Pokémon makes them compatible with this technology, while human physiology might not survive the digitization process. Everything rests on these two pillars. Energy. The Pokémon world lives in an era of clean, renewable, living energy. Power plants are run by Pokémon like Voltorb and Magnemite. Economy. It is based on a system of competition. Trainers receive prize money for victories, which they spend on Pokeballs and potions produced by corporations. This creates a perfect closed loop of consumption and production. Winning a battle is an act of economic production. Furthermore, Pokémon are the primary labor force. Machoke work on construction sites, and Chansey work in hospitals. This is a society built on the voluntary, or not-so-voluntary, labor of non-human intelligent beings. Social services. Pokémon medicine at Pokémon centers is completely free. This isn't just socialism, it's a vital state program for maintaining the operational status of the country's primary infrastructure, workforce, and defense potential. Healing Pokémon for free is like repairing roads and power plants for free. This high-tech world is far from a utopia. It is constantly threatened by powerful organizations, each representing a dangerous ideology. Team Rocket. This is a classic mafia built on the principles of brutal, unregulated capitalism. To them, Pokémon are commodities and resources. Their goal is monopolization and power. Their leader, Giovanni, being both a crime boss and a respected gym leader, symbolizes the corruption that has infiltrated the very core of the system. Team Aqua and Team Magma. These are eco-terrorists, two sides of the same fanatical coin. Each wants to remake the world according to their twisted ideology, even if it leads to a global apocalypse. Team Galactic, the most terrifying threat. This is a nihilistic cult led by the sociopath Cyrus. He considers a universe full of emotion, the gift of Mesprit, and willpower, the gift of Azelf, to be a mistake. His goal is not to conquer the world, but to destroy it, using Dialga and Palkia in order to create a new, empty universe of pure logic in its place. He seeks to commit cosmic-scale deicide. Team Plasma, the most philosophically complex group. Publicly, they are radical Pokémon rights activists, asking the universe's central ethical question: do we have the right to enslave intelligent beings? But their leader, Getsis, uses this noble idea to disarm the region, leaving himself as the only one with power to seize control. It is a perfect allegory for how the brightest ideas can become tools for establishing tyranny. These organizations are not just gangs, they are reflections of the ideological cracks in the foundation of this world. And the system is designed so that the one who can stand against them is not the police, but a child trainer whose pure bond with their Pokémon proves stronger than any corrupt ideology. The world of Pokémon is a high-tech society built on the symbiosis of humans and godlike beings, where science has put magic at its service. Here, status depends on skill and empathy, and gods live next door. The secret to the franchise's success lies in the idea that any child can touch immense power and save the world. It is a universe where humanity survived by learning not to conquer nature, but to befriend it.